families are involved. When people are marrying, it's not just, and this one's going to be a little bit longer, so bear with me. It's not just, oh, I love you, you love me. Greetings once again. This is Emunah, aka Sojourner, taking some breeze this evening. Coming to you with yet another very, very interesting topic that is plaguing the nation. What is that? That doctrine, that erroneous teaching that if you lay with the man, he's your ish. He becomes your husband. And if the man just lays with the woman, that's her husband. And I know I mentioned this slightly in the last video, but sad to say, somebody lied. Somebody surely did tell a lie. Where are we getting this from? You know, sometimes it's all about reading comprehension. It's all about our pre-existing our desires, that now we want to contort the scripture and do some Pilates and stretching and make it into what we want it to make it into, and then going out and deceiving the public with this misinformation, disinformation. So today, definitely, we could take a look at, does she become your wife because you lay with her? Okay, a lot of people, I've heard this. Oh, in the beginning, you didn't need anybody there. And I'm like, wow, we are destroyed. We are destroyed. When we look at Isaac, which is, sometimes people like to say, yes, and you see right here, sis, take a look. Isaac, he took her in the tent and he lay with her. Boom, we don't need no witnesses. Seriously? Let's rewind the tape and let's take a look at it. Sisters, please, I pray, brothers and sisters, that we are reading. This is imperative. There was times a few hundred years ago in this country, it was illegal for read. And today, in 2015, people still act as though it is illegal. And it's not only to read, it's to read and comprehend. I don't know if they still do it in the school systems today, and it's not to be funny, but it is serious that sometimes when we approach the text, we see what we want to see because it is that we already have these ideas in our head. In the story of Isaac, the servant was commissioned to go specifically and find a wife for Isaac, which is Abraham's son. Abraham knew. Not only did Abraham know, it was his idea. And he sent his chief servant to say, look, we cannot take just any woman. And again, I know I keep saying it, but that's another video. Because every woman and a wife. Let me repeat that. Every woman is not a wife. We see that. Father Abraham said, look now, I need you to promise me. He said, put your hand under my thigh and swear that you will not take a wife for my son from these daughters of the land. And he sent him clear, go over where shot him come from. And where did he go? So he went commissioned with a purpose, number one. Number two, he knew exactly where he was going. When he arrived, he prayed. Before he went on his journey, he prayed that the Most High would prosper his way. The Creator did. He led him to where? His lineage house. Now they would have known Abraham. They would have known about him because he left, right? So this is stuff that people tend to convenient amnesia. They just conveniently leave out of the story. So when the servant arrives, he sees Ribkah. The brother, which is Laban, was aware of the situation. The father was aware of the situation. The mother was aware of the situation. And when he made the proposal, because in this case the servant proposed on Isaac's behalf. He proposed on Isaac's behalf. Let's not forget all this part. Families are involved. When people are marrying, it's not just, and this one's going to be a little bit longer, so bear with me. It's not just, oh, I love you, you love me. No, families are involved. Back to the story. They say, yo, hold on, let me call Rebecca and see if she agree with this thing. Okay? They call Rebecca, like, Rebecca, you want to go, you hear about your cousin. At this time, again, we're not promoting to say this is what happened in the story. Because a lot of times, we also don't decipher or discern what happened from what is happening. And people just take it up and try to do it at this particular time. And it doesn't always work out the same. But anyway, long story goes, Rebecca goes. So, first of all, there was a proposal. There was an intent, first of all, with the groom's family, the male's family, the bridegroom's family. Then there was a proposal. Let's not forget, said a man come with bride price. Him put jewelry upon her. Him give gifts, come bearing gifts. If you missed the story, go back to the book of Genesis and read it again. He put a nose ring on her nose. He put shekels. He blinged her out. And she was like, yeah, I'll go. So Isaac already knew that they're coming back with a wife for him. He didn't just be like, oh, that they on the camel, wow. And she like, oh, that man there. Oh, let me get ready for you, man. It didn't go like that. That's story number one. Please, let's go back and check that story. Let's never, ever let somebody use that thought process that, oh, wow, take a look. You know that he just saw her and took in the tent and he was comforted. No, it didn't just go like that. There's a lot of things involved, like, again, there's a proposal, there's an intent that what it is that you want to do. You understand what I'm saying? There is a connection with the family because this is families who are being married. Also, there's an acceptance of the offer. This is not no cave business where it is that they don't have to agree. You understand what I'm saying? And then there is some kind of, it's not like you're buying a woman, but there's some kind of what they would call a dowry, a bride price, something that indicates that you understand what it is that you're doing. You understand? Story number two, same thing came again in the case of Jacob. If we look at the story, Esau started picking up all these women. He took up this woman, he took up that woman, he married more than one. Rebecca came and said, man, Isaac, after the whole thing popped off, she's like, yo, I'm grieved because of this dude picking up all these strege, as they say in Patois, strege, gal about the place who's going to lead you into idolatry and all kind of stuff. The mother said she was grieved. They sent off Jacob to go and look a wife from her nativity as well. Again, the same thing happens. The family was well aware. It was no secret eloping, rendezvous, Romeo and Juliet, done and bun family. It didn't happen like that. And when he went with a specific purpose. If we read the text in the case of Isaac, Isaac was 40 years old before he took a wife, because there are many things that the man and the woman has to learn. And I don't really hear anybody talking about that. They say, woman, you need to do such and such and such. Dude, can you build a house? You understand what I'm saying? Can you take care of family? Solomon said, deal with your field and then build your house. That means establish yourself as a man before you go look for a woman. Makes sense, but that's not what we're doing. So when you take on the woman, you struggling, she's struggling, and it breaks down the family unit. Go back to Jacob. Jacob went with specific intent to look for a wife because that was the instruction that he was sent away with. Keep in mind, he didn't just see her and there with her. Enough people want to say, oh, it didn't work out. Put a divorce decree in her hand and send it away. No, how do you give her a physical copy? This is the step part that we've been missing. You're giving her a physical copy, but you never issued a physical copy. When we look in the book of Tobit, which is in the Apocrypha, we see that they had witnesses. The parents was there. Tobit's parents wasn't there, but her parents were there. And they witnessed it and they wrote a contractual agreement. Some call it a ketubah. And this is not just, oh, Western, them just come up with it. No, it's evidence and proof of it's a contract. So where is the stipulations of this contract? What are the things that you require in this contract? And where are your 2 to 3 witnesses that are going to establish this very serious matter? So that if anything comes up, you have recourse. What am I saying? These women are taking up with these men. They're not protecting themselves and they're not protecting the children. That is counterproductive. All your time, all your effort, all of your years and your youth, and at the end of the day, if anything pop off, you cannot call this man's name. You cannot go anywhere and get anything that's to say, you know what, that is owed on to you. Why? And I've heard stories of this happening because you did not cover your behind. I'm a little bit excited about this topic because it is one that is plaguing the community. We're not applying some level of discernment when we're going into these things. There's no protection for the children. There's no protection for the women. You understand? You can't call anybody's name. You have no rights to anything. And the reality is, this is where you are. That is the reality. So if this man breed you up and you have like 7, 8, 9, 10 children and you don't entitle to nothing, that's a problem. When we see our foreparents, the Most High even left it on record. Entitlement is key. Entitlement is imperative, but how could you be entitled when you're not even on record and you're accepting it, sisters? You are accepting this. Because why? So that if anything happens, what becomes of you? What becomes of them? You have no health insurance. A lot of the sisters is on the system. This, and our power. He said we are wise and discerning people. We are people who's supposed to move with Hakma and Bina and Da'at. We're supposed to set an example. So praise be to the Most High. I hope this was helpful to someone somewhere, that we need to stop accepting. And let me tell you something about man. Man, I love you know. I love my brother them. But guess what? Man, then we give whatever you are willing to accept. I say it again. Men will give you whatever you are willing to accept. So if you have already, like you say, you have already weakened yourself to the point where it is that you have no say. This is what the protection was from the family. This is what the protection was from the brothers and the fathers. This is what it was supposed to be. Like Shimei and Levi say, should you make my sister a harlot? And check it out. That's another story. But Shechem wanted to marry her. But because he went about it in the way in which he did, they were vexed. We see later on in Torah that, according to Torah, he had an option of whether to pay, and make restitution and now have her as a wife. But the reality is, when we do these things out of order and we don't cover our behind, we're not investing truly in I don't need you. Read Isaiah. That's another one we're going to touch at another time. Go to the Isaiah script, see what it say here. 7 women going to hold on to 1 man. This is another one that's pimping out the daughters as well as the sons, marrying off their self. There's a lot. We're supposed to return upright. Really. So definitely, I say all that to say, no, if you look in the Torah, just because you laid with her does not make her your wife. And I'll leave you at this: Judah and Tamar. Tamar did not, I repeat, did not become Judah's wife because he saw on the side of the road, talking about saying, didn't know, and he thought she was a harlot. It didn't say she became his wife. It said he never went into her again. At this point, brothers, live up yourself and do better. Or you cannot provide for these sisters. You understand what I'm saying? Load them. Why are you breeding them up where you cannot provide and cannot even be a father and cannot even be a role model? Sisters, if the dude got 4, if the dude got 3, where y'all go? Where are you going? Oh, scooch over, maybe jump in. Scooch over for me, scooch over. He has 3 and 4, and you thought that was a good idea? All around. Till next time.